Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. It is, in fact, the best day of the week, boys and girls. Happy to have all of you here. Happy Wednesday. We got a jam-packed show. Incredible guests. This is going to be a banger. Let's get it. Let's go. Oh. Good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of High Top Sports. It is, of course, the best day of the week. And like I always say, we have a jam-packed show. We're going to be talking about a little portal visit this weekend. And also, we're going to dive into the NFL mock draft. We've got Cody, the professor, in the office. We're going to save him for a little bit later. Before we get into that, though, let's get into the co-hosts for the evening. Of course, Mr. David Swolder Quiz is here, ladies and gentlemen. And Allie Peak, it's been too long. Well, we had you on Saturday, but that doesn't really count. It's been
way too long, guys, since we've done this on a Wednesday.
It has. It's been fantastic. So we're going to talk a lot with Allie today. She's has only a certain amount of time, so I want to make sure we get everything crossed. We're going to go over Reggie Bush getting his Heisman back today. I think it's awesome for college football. But Allie, a couple things I want to talk to you about that we haven't had a chance. One, we're going to go over the spring game, and then of course we got some big portal visits happening this weekend. So let's dive right into it. I know you tweeted out during the game, which had me fired up. I was like, you're one of us now. You said we're back. I wanted to know immediately, like what was look, when you're in the swamp and you're fired up and the energy's pumping, like you say some shit, right? You're going to tell some lies, and I have a feeling that that's what you just felt excited to be there. I felt that energy.
You know, I was honestly, I don't know if you guys feel this way, but I was caught off guard by how electric the swamp was for a spring game. I've been to, 20 spring games probably over the course of my life, a lot of them. And even when we were really good, it didn't necessarily always feel it. And you can tell which coaches don't love the spring game because they kind of just go through the motions. They don't show you anything. They don't want any contact. They don't want players to get hurt. I didn't feel like that at all on Saturday. And, there was a little buzz in Gainesville, and I for a fan base that I thought was decently apathetic, and at this moment in time, it didn't feel like that at all.
For sure, it did feel really electric. It's not a game, but it had that vibe very early on, and it held on for a very good long time. Like last year, I remember it was on a Thursday. It felt like just a practice. This felt like a game in a weird sense, in a good way.
It did. And I think that the players were into it. Like they were chippy, which, is not something you normally see in an orange and blue game. The band played Move Back, You Suck to our own players, which that's fabulous. We're back. It just, they were into it, which makes it easier for us to get into it. I don't think that they pulled any punches. I think that they were willing to let these guys kind of go at 100%, which we don't normally see. And Gator fans needed to see that. Like, it seems like UF has been kind of on a little bit of like a PR tour lately, which they needed. They desperately needed. And hopefully it's not too little too late, but like, I loved what I saw on Saturday.
A PR tour is huge. I think you're spot on with that. And I think, again, the off-season vibe was very, like you said, apathetic, and it felt that it felt like, again, I think DJ Lagway had a lot to do with that. I think him hanging on to those big time recruits had a big impact on that as well. But look, give us your I know you've talked about it on your show and you've had your conversations about it, but I haven't had a chance to talk to you. What are your thoughts and feelings? And then we'll kind of transition that into the transfer portal, because we haven't done much. We've got 2 visits, and I'll kind of save that for separate, but we've been kind of quiet in the portal. We had a guy leave, and we signed Enoch Wingagwa, I believe. Wagnway. So that is some movement in the portal, I guess. Not really though, but
So they have like an interesting situation right now where I think we thought we were going to see a little bit more attrition than we have. And I know there are people that are saying like, oh, we should just tell so-and-so, listen, you've been on the bench for 4 years, we'll see ya. But the fact that there isn't anybody looking to jump ship, I also think can be looked at as a positive. And like, listen, we need to be competitive, and I totally acknowledge that. But the fact that there's 86 guys currently now with this new addition on scholarship who are saying we believe in what you're doing and we want to be here, so much so that they're not entertaining offers elsewhere, does kind of speak to the culture that Napier has in the locker room. And I'm sure you hear the same things I do, which is essentially that like what they think inside there is not what we feel on the outside, if that makes sense. Like they are still very dialed in and bought in, and that's the only way we get wins, right? Is if they believe in what they're doing.
Go ahead, Dave.
Oh no, I was going to let you go, but hey,
okay.
I mean, I agree with her. I mean, when you look at it, it's been a quiet portal period. Obviously, you had Manny Nunnery enter the portal. He had some things to say on Instagram, but other than that, no other person had anything to say on Instagram. So I think that is a good thing in a way, but if you're looking to put some pieces together and maybe improve some positions, I know a lot of the fans are just like, okay, well, we're at 85. We need to get down and get some guys in here. It's okay. As long as you have team cohesion, and everything's going well, and the coach is approving of what's going on. I mean, we finally have depth now. Like, we haven't had depth in a long time, so I'm okay with that. And then that's the thing that
we have to have right now.
Not really. I mean, like, if you want to, I would say maybe wide receiver, offensive line. It looks like that's what they're going with right now. But other than that, like if they don't think that they could fit these guys in, they're not going to bring them in just for a visit, because that would just be a waste of time. So I like it. Like it comes to a fact. I mean, I saw Miami and some of their players, like some of their good players, going to the portal from the 2023 class, and I'm like, wow, I would not want that happening to me. So I'm here for it. I'm okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a ton of attrition going on in Miami, and I'm kind of here for it. Like, will they have put everything back together by the time we play the first game of the season? Like, this is great for us. But I don't know that there's anybody in the portal that I'm so wowed by that I am okay with them not telling some of our guys on our roster to, hey, maybe you should find another spot. I think it would be helpful if we picked up a wide receiver. I think it would be helpful if we picked up an edge. And I think we could do with another body on the offensive line. But I do know one of the things they were saying out of spring is that they were pretty impressed with the depth that we have at offensive line now. And so that had become less of a concern. And, everything starts and ends with the line, right? If our offensive line can't get it done, it doesn't matter that we have two great quarterbacks. It doesn't matter that we have, a couple of really good targets and running backs and stuff like that. If our line can't do better than they did last year.
We also have Taylor Sprito, which nobody else has. We keep forgetting that. But I think
always the walk-ons.
Guy's a stud. I think you nailed it on the head of like we want to see movement, and we talked about it with, I think it was Goodall, and he talked about us. I referred to us being in the buying situation in the sense of like when you go to the playoff or for trade deadline in MLB, like are we buying or selling? And I put us more in the buying segment, which we're not really buying and selling. It doesn't kind of fit the same way because we're not selling the season away, but in the sense that we were in a comfortable position that if somebody came available, it's like that guy is going to make a difference today and make us go from move the needle from here to here. We're going to go all in, and we will go tell this guy, hey, we're going to get this guy. There's not going to be room for you. So you probably need to figure out your moving arrangements because you're out of here. I don't believe there's been anybody that's knocked their socks off, even with the two guys we got coming that are visiting this weekend, and Jason Zamudella and Justin Ross. I think they're excited about those two guys, but I keep saying, and I will continue to say it, the wide receivers and running backs, it's not a shot, it's not negative, but I say dime a dozen in the sense that position is very easily filled up. It's not like, again, none of these guys are Marvin Harrison. They're not going to be just blow your socks off. So the tiers of these guys, they're very spread. And there's nobody, in my opinion, a tier 1, tier 2 guy. If a Ross were to commit, he's still not going to be the number 1 guy, in my opinion. Does he help out the team? Sure. But is he a number 1 guy that's going to just like, this is a huge playmaker? I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're looking for depth, which is exactly what Dave said, but our depth looks better. If there was somebody that was so electric that was going to be the person that put us over the edge, then you figure out a way to make it happen. And the other aspect of this is that the NIL numbers have to be right too, right? Somebody told me that our 2025 class right now is going to cost them about $25 million. Like, think about that.
I do want to talk about recruiting. So let's sidebar that, because for the recruiting class in my opinion, I think it's interesting right now with how it's functioning. I believe, and I've talked to my brother who's obviously part of recruiting. He's in high school, so he's getting into this process. The portal has an impact on it, and it seems we're starting to see it more impact 2025 than I believe it did in 2024, and we'll get into that. But great wrap up on that. Let's dive into the two guys that are visiting this real quick. Oops, I lost you, Allie. we've been blowing up Justice and Ross here. Simmons, I think is his name, from Colorado State.
Yep.
There's some murmurings going around that now the grades could be a factor. Like, it always seems that something comes into play to ruin this for us. I don't know. The one good thing is he doesn't really have any other visits set up yet currently. So in the portal, typically when you get a visit, that's a good sign. So hopefully that follows through. What have you been hearing about him?
So, I mean, I think that UF would like to add him, right? It's about wide receiver is a position where you need some more depth. I don't think that we don't have a ton of wide receiver depth. We have a ton of wide receivers, but I don't know that we have a ton of guys that have proven that they can really handle a large amount of receptions. And in fact, I think we have guys that, like, we've heard hyped a lot, and then the season comes around and there's just not, we haven't seen a ton of production outside of Wilson, really. So I think that this is something that if it works out, that's great. I don't know that I think it's, I don't think it's make or break, but I do think in the portal, something that UF has not done particularly well is if you want a guy, don't let him leave campus without committing.
Yeah.
There is, if he leaves without committing, he's not coming here, because then you're going to the next school who isn't going to let you leave. Right. And so, which is different than high school recruiting. This is happening fast and furious. And I don't know that we have adjusted to that speed just yet. But if you want him, you better make it happen. If he leaves on Sunday and we don't hear anything,
it's over.
I would assume it's going to be a Gator. Yeah.
I almost titled it, "Can Billy Close?" And this is something that it's going to frustrate people because I think Billy did better in the past portal, but I don't feel like we're playing reactive instead of proactive. It feels that way, that we're really just kind of working at a snail's pace in it. And look, is it the right way or wrong way? I don't think anybody knows yet. You're seeing some people move too quickly, and then you're seeing guys jump right back out. So there's a sweet spot. I think we may be a little bit underneath the sweet spot. Some people are over it. But we would like to see be more aggressive. Then we got Jason Samdella. This to me is more of a recruit than a transfer portal guy, although he is in the transfer portal, extremely young, has all of his 4 years of eligibility left, didn't play much at USC. They don't play in the trenches anyways. Visiting UCF, I think the fact that we have the last visit is massive. It feels like both of these guys are lined up for, it's Florida. Like, just do your damn job. Now, do the numbers not line up? Do the NIL situation not figure out for both of these guys? We'll never know what happens. And again, two guys are going to have to leave if both of these guys come in. And then who is that? They feel very comfortable with the offensive line. Who are they willing to sign off for Jason Samdella?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a ton of upside for him. 4 years of eligibility is the largest of that, especially in a position that is going to take time to develop. Now, if you're talking about Justice Ross Simmons or you're talking about Jason Zanda Mandela, and you get one, right? Yeah. You go with this because he's going to have an impact immediately. Jason's still an offensive lineman that's probably going to need time to develop. So the odds that he makes an impact next season is probably slim in compared to Justice Ross Simmons. So, if you only get one or the other, I don't think you go with the offensive lineman who is going to need the coaching and the time to develop. But if you can take him, that's another great piece to a line that, can get decimated by injuries pretty quickly. I have heard NIL numbers might be a sticking point in this situation. I don't love the idea that we could lose a battle to UCF because personally, I don't look at Central Florida as in the same realm as Florida is. But if they want it more and they've got the NIL space and they've got the scholarship space, then, I don't know, maybe that does win out. But I think the numbers are going to have to make sense for Florida to want to jump on this. I think he would jump on it. What I've been told is that Jason's who actually reached out to Florida. I think he would love to be Gator, but the money has to make sense and the roster spot has to make sense.
From what I've been reading and kind of talking with Dave about too, it seems like there's yeses all the way around from both parties. It's just it's crazy that it's coming down to it's a money thing and a little bit of a spot thing too, right? Because you've got to make room for him. Go ahead, Dave.
Right.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, especially in transfer portal recruiting, high school recruiting, you want to be that last visit, but in transfer portal, you actually want to be the first one. That way, you can make the deal and keep them away from the schools. So it's a good thing that he's visited UCF Tuesday, Wednesday. We haven't heard of anything of a commitment yet. Supposedly, the rumor is he's supposed to visit either this weekend or next weekend. We'll figure that out when it actually is official. But it's a good thing. In this way. And like Ali said, if you bring him in, he's not going to be an immediate starter, but that is a very, very talented offensive linemen. And from a position that you don't really have on a star level, you don't have maybe the skill level that guy has, but on an experience level, you have a lot of guys returning. So I think that, if you were to miss on the Zandamela, I don't think it would be because UCF just was the better, like could out recruit you because he wants to come here. He's like you said, he's messaged Florida. So his heart is set here. But at the same time, if you don't make that happen, it's not really a reflection of Billy Napier and the staff. It's more the reflection of, like, as Ali said, like, okay, we got all these bodies here. We've already brought this guy in. This guy, Wagnoy, reclassified as well. Okay, so this is the situation. Can we figure something out? If we can't figure it out, he probably has to UCF. But as you said, Justin Ross Simmons is probably the more important transfer portal pick right now, as opposed between both of those.
Well, think about if you're Billy Napier, you may not even be here in time to watch Jason Zandamela, develop. And I mean, hopefully he is, right? Hopefully they win this season and he's here for a long time. But if you're looking for somebody to make an impact right away to help solidify your job, you're not going with an offensive lineman that is talented but doesn't have the experience.
Gators by a million, Allie, you know that. So look, let's transition into what I was going to talk about with the recruiting this year, because the Jason Zandamela is what is making recruiting, and we kind of talked about it last year, and I think a lot of people got turned off. Dave has talked about it with how the 2024 cycle ended, with guys flipping, and even how guys have entered into the portal this year. I mean, you've seen it. 7 out of the top 150 players that committed to Miami, they have now all hit the portal. So how important is recruiting? Obviously, it's extremely important, but the value of it is starting to go up and down this line that we're not quite sure where it's at. But think about somebody like a Jason Zandamela. He, in a sense, wherever he goes, is going to be the equivalent, in my opinion, to a 2025 recruit. 4 years of eligibility left. He's not going to play this coming season, right? So he's going to be the guy next year, and in a sense, take a spot away from that 2025 recruit. So another part of it too, you're seeing like a guy like Peyton Joseph, locked in. We interview on the show. How quickly he committed and decommitted. It's just like, why even? It's gonna be hard to be excited. It's gonna be, and people have always said it, but it feels like even more so now. And think about it, right? He commits. Hey, you're gonna be the guy. This is your spot. Somebody comes available in the portal, and Billy's like, I need to go get that guy. And all of a sudden, you've now dropped down 2 spots because this guy became available, which was never on the playlist. Look, that's part of life, but you losing your job is much more likely to happen than it ever was before. And obviously, the argument that comes into question now is nobody wants to fight for anything. I think Eli Drinkowitz was like, we're in this culture now where we want it now. We don't have the patience to see it develop, and we are. And people want to blame the kids and blame this. It's everything. It's all of it combined, right? We're just instant gratification. You get Amazon Prime. Like I'm just as bad. If I search something, the Prime button better be clicked. I ain't waiting 3 days. You're out of your damn mind. I'll forget about it by then. I lose interest in it. So if it ain't coming the next day, I don't want it. So I get it.
I think NIL factors so much into this. I mean, the portal does as well. But, I almost don't care if you commit a year early. Like, talk to me 3 days before signing day, and let's see if you still feel the same way. Because there's so much that changes. And I honestly, I understand why some of these guys commit, because some coaches will tell them, listen, we have X number of spots. If you don't tell me you want one now, don't tell me you want one later. So they commit in case that's where they want to go, instead of because that's where they want to go. And I think that, there's so many factors now to recruiting that didn't used to exist. Now we have 2 different signing days. Like, we might as well just have one and do it in December. Like, why do we, I don't know. I don't love the way that the recruiting is, but I also don't, and I don't trust anything that comes out of a recruit's mouth until ink hits paper, essentially.
The early signing day, which is in June.
Well, the early signing day is December, but you can take your early visits now in June. But you're signing.
I thought they added a signing day. No,
December and February are our signing days. We add a third one at this point.
I think they added one.
Yeah, they haven't added one yet, but they were talking about adding like a summer signing period.
Yeah,
but it hasn't been like
I think official yet.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not official.
I thought they did. We talked about it in one of the shows. I thought they did. Okay, to discuss a third signing period, which would be in June.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
it hasn't happened yet.
I wouldn't have any issue with a signing day that happens in June, because then these guys could fully focus on the season and not have to worry about, recruiting during the fall, which honestly, the December signing day has really made the summer such a more popular time to take your official visits. I mean, 10, 15 years ago, everybody was taking their official visits in the fall because they wanted to see what these campuses were like on game day. They wanted to go out with the players afterwards. They wanted to experience all of that. But now that you can take so many visits, and now that there's, they're just unofficial visits are happening from like the time you're in ninth grade, it has lost a little bit of its luster. But it used to be that game day was when you were taking your official visits because you wanted to experience everything that stadium had to offer.
This has increased, right? The passing around of this has increased dramatically. So it makes those unofficial visits much easier.
Yeah, and then if you look at it, if you make a mistake, you can instantly transfer anyway. So,
right,
it is a wild time. I will say, look, although this portal has been, this transfer portal has been crazy in the sense of just, I would say the quantity. It feels very high. And also, too, again, we're kind of going back a little bit, backtracking. We were talking about Florida guys not leaving. Look, I've talked about it a little bit before, is if you're leaving now, you're taking a massive risk on yourself because you're going to be hopping into a program that's halfway through their process. I mean, you're going to be the new guy on campus. You're like a freshman. So you're really thinking like, yeah, this isn't working out. I know I can go here and be the guy. So if you're leaving, it's like you're basically just in no man's land. I think there's a few schools that are out there looking that will gobble you up, but it's just like a stock, right? The guy's buying is much less than what's for sale. So yeah, Miami's in a weird place. There's a lot of guys that are leaving them, and there isn't much to replace what's leaving for them with quality. And the guys that are leaving are good.
And the thing is that, Miami fans are all over social media saying, oh, they're leaving because they've got a freshman that's going to take their place and blah, blah, blah. But like, you also have to have depth. You need depth and you need experience. And I think that that's such a bogus argument, anyway, because these guys have never seen the field. But like, you actually have to have bodies to hit each other in practice. They're losing a lot.
Go ahead. That's the thing. It's like, so you're going to go into game one and roll out just a bunch of freshmen?
Please,
okay.
Please.
I like what you talked about too, because this is an interesting point that the players have a lot more control than it's not like the NFL where it's like, hey, we're cutting you. Like that doesn't seem to be a factor. Like you can have a strong conversation of like, you're probably not going to play, but you can't rip the kid's scholarship for no cause, right? Like you can't do that.
Renewable contracts. So technically, yes, you could, but I mean, that would look pretty poor on the university. Now, I do think that there are circumstances where coaches say, hey, listen, I know you have NFL dreams. You're not going to see the field, so you're not going to get any film. So if you do want to play at the next level, my suggestion is to go somewhere that's going to give you some film so that you have that opportunity.
I imagine that was a conversation with Nunnery and he didn't take it too well.
Right. That is my assumption as well. And so he just, tore everything on the way out the door.
It's a horrible look. Like, I don't understand these players, what they think they're gaining from that. Like, look, I understand what you're frustrated about. You go to one play where you looked bad.
Yeah.
But you didn't do much outside of that. So it's a very weird, and I understand you're upset and he deleted it. It's a story, but again, it's just one of those things that live on there forever. And like, it sucks because again, at the end of the day, the only person that's going to hurt is him. Florida's going to, we're going to forget about it. But right now you are a commodity that needs to be picked up. Go ahead.
I said, it's like a tagline on his resume now, right? Like these teams are looking at players' social medias. They're looking at their history. Am I bringing a guy in who is going to be a problem in the locker room? Or am I bringing a guy in who was a great contributor to the locker room, but just wasn't seeing the playing time? So we needed a fresh start. That is not what Vandy Nunnery is now, right?
Yeah, it says on his resume, popped off when leaving. So like, it's like when somebody like loses their job or quits. It's like I picture like the visual as he was walking out, he kicked the computer on the way down. It's like, yeah, well, now you're unhireable, you're unrehirable. You know what I mean? Like just leave, just walk out. All right, good stuff. We only got a few minutes with Allie here. She extended her stay with us, so I do appreciate that. I know you're close with those guys over at the Double Slaw and Tube Sock. So I do want you to get your thoughts on this ring here. We actually made some adjustments to the ring.
It's much better.
Yeah, much better. So I think the only problem with this conversation here is the three of us probably have the same opinion on it.
Way, right?
Yeah, I've seen so many thoughts on this. Even Jake Crane, who we love, if I had him on the show, he backed FSU in the sense of like, who cares? And look, I agree. If you're on the FSU side and you're the players, I don't give a shit what you do to your rings. But if you're going to post it and brag about it, you're going to get shit for it. So and I saw Harlan, he came at me and was like, well, 98% of the players didn't play. That's why the game doesn't count. I go, well, listen here. We didn't have a percentage of our guys playing for 7 of our games. So we're going to create rings because Florida went 5-0 last year. According to those metrics, Florida is now undefeated because we dealt with injuries and we were also unconquered because now we can pick and choose what games actually count. Like if you can't see that, you're crazy.
Right. Well, first of all, I would say like, okay, well, what kind of culture are we playing with here where nobody wants to play in our bowl game? But this is my thing. Either if it's an ACC championship game, your ring, either put 8-0 or put 13-1. Those are your options. 13-0 is revisionist history.
Wild.
They didn't have a lot of their team in that conference game, but they have no problem claiming that one. So, and if they had beaten Georgia with almost
14-0, 14-0, Allie,
they would be preaching 14-0. And Georgia didn't play a whole bunch of their guys too, yet they still dominated. So I just you've got to pick a lane and stay in it. It's the ACC championship, so you're going to celebrate every ACC win, or it's the whole year's record and you're going to put 13-1. Those are your options. But this is so UCF of them. It's insane.
That's the other part. Confirm this on me. You're close with Ty. I know you're very close with Ty. He screams to me as the guy that he's in the background yelling, this is the generation that gets a trophy for everything. Like he's the guy that has been yelling at that generation, and now he's defending this.
Participation trophy.
It's
it's so cringy to me to watch everybody defend it. And honestly, he hasn't defended it behind closed doors because I have been mercilessly poking fun at this because it's absurd. It's crazy. We have in our house what we refer to as the second place Outback Bowl ring because when you played in the Outback Bowl back in the early 2000s, they gave both teams a ring. Well, Eric's team lost in the Outback Bowl one year. So we literally have a second place Outback Bowl ring that we,
literally a participation trophy.
He's never going to come out of the closet. Eric has never once worn this ring ever, ever, ever. And he got it well before he got a national championship. So it was the only ring he had for a long time, but he was still mortified at the thought of taking out this ring that, is a losing ring. And that's what this is. I did meet a guy that played for Ohio State the year that Florida beat them. His kids go to our preschool, and one day this guy walked by and he had this big ring on, and I asked him what it was, and it was from that year.
Second place ring?
Y'all in the national. I was like, oh, so you have a second place ring. He never wore it to preschool again after that.
But, no, second place ring. Yeah. Cody's here. He's muted at the moment, but
it's kind of like when you fight in the UFC and you say you're undefeated, you're 12-0, but then you have that one loss and you lose your belt, but then you come back on the UFC press conference and you bring the belt with you and say, "Well, I never lost that."
I compared it to Sean O'Malley because Sean O'Malley doesn't believe he lost a Cheeto when he stepped back and broke his leg. Well, I said a percentage of Sean's body didn't participate, Harlan. Does that mean he doesn't have to count that loss? No, you got in the ring, bud. You shouldn't have showed up. If you didn't believe the game counted, you shouldn't have showed up, and you could have just been 13-0-0 or whatever.
If they had protested and decided not to play in the bowl game, then whatever.
Cool. I would still give you shit, but you can at least claim the unconqueredness because you technically didn't lose.
Right.
But you got clapped.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you're little brother and you play big brother in video games and he always beats your ass, but then you finally win and then you buy yourself a 1-0 ring, undefeated, unconquered.
I mean,
so Ty has been more. He hasn't been as defensive about this behind closed doors.
Oh no, he has not been particularly defensive to me. I'm sure on social media that's a completely different story. But it's absurd, and I don't think there's any Florida State fans who will tell you with a straight face that it's not a little ridiculous.
Look, and so that people are trying to, and again, you have to be careful with these bots on Twitter. Harlan's not a bot; he's a real human. He's just. I think his jogger's a little too tight sometimes. I think that's what happens here. But somebody posted, I guess, like the Florida Gators SEC championship ring. Like it's not the same thing, bro. Like it's and even Alabama's SEC championship said undefeated, but it was counting the SEC games. They were undefeated in the SEC games.
And if you want to put that you're undefeated in the ACC, fine. I'm all for that. But you threw in these other games, but you didn't put the actual amount that you played. Like you had options here. You picked something that didn't exist.
Yeah.
Well, and see, the funny part about all that is they posted the 2016 SEC East Championship ring when Jim McElwain was our coach. Jim McElwain's not our coach anymore. Mike Norvell's still their coach.
Correct.
That makes it even more embarrassing for them.
Right. And sometimes if the conference gives you this and you don't get to pick what's on it, like I feel like that's different. Like that's just like a bowl game giving both teams rings. But when you want to go out of your way and you design it this way, this was your call.
Look, they had the state champion stuff last year. Like that was a little cheesy, but it's fact. So you can claim it. They have back to back. All that stuff's fine. You're just blatantly lying here. And also, real quick, I remember Steve, he hates UCF and their fans because of the unclaimed, like the amount of conversations we have, and he would just be irate of it.
Yeah.
Like, you are now in the category of UCF. So when UCF started to claim Big Four, which I know you're not a fan of, Allie, you are, by every time you make a dumb ring like this, they're now part of the Big Four. You just now stoop down to their level at this point.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dave. Sorry.
Maybe.
And what's funny about it too is like they're talking about, oh well, this is for the ACC championship. Yeah, you bought Cheez-It Bowl rings last year, so you do acknowledge bowl games, but this time you don't because you got your asses blown out by 60 points from the University of Georgia.
If they had beaten Georgia, the ring would say 14-0. That's the only thing. Like if a Florida State fan can tell you with a straight face that no matter what, they would have only put 13-0, even if they beat the two-time reigning national champions, then I can give them this. But there's no way anybody could tell you that with a straight face.
Last thing, Allie, before you go, I want to get your thoughts on Reggie Bush. This is huge for college football. Like, I mean, if you've watched college football and have a pulse, when this happened, everybody was disgusted. It feels like the Pete Rose thing situation where we just need to allow Pete Rose to be in the Hall of Fame, but that's another conversation for another day. What are your thoughts on Reggie getting his Heisman back? Broke this morning, first thing.
I am excited for him that he got his Heisman back. I think that what he got caught for, there's probably lots of guys that stand up on that stage every single year that did the same thing and they just didn't get caught, so their Heisman didn't get stripped. And now, of course, it's legal now. But, I mean, the amount that he took compared to what some of these guys are getting now is insane. Pennies. Right? It's pennies on the dollar. It's crazy. So I think this is good for college football. I think that, had he killed somebody, had he, there's things that he could have done that I could think would warrant this, but where we are in college football being the absolute Wild West, Reggie Bush took, less than $10,000 probably. Like,
and he at a time when he needed it probably more than anybody. And what I love too is Manziel goes on 13 podcasts a day bragging about signing autographs.
Well, when he was doing it and no one's taking Manziel's Heisman, like, come on.
Yeah, I was pumped. This is something that we've always talked about as like when it happened, it was just like nobody agreed with it, and I felt like it was the first time in a long time where, as college fans, we all came together in unity where we all agreed on it. No matter what team you cheer for, the ring has been taken off everybody's timeline. This was a nice refresher for where we've been.
Yeah,
and I think that. Do you remember when? I was going to say, do you remember when Todd Gurley signed all those autographs and he got suspended? Like, he was a Heisman finalist. He probably still would have won the Heisman if Georgia had probably went on the SEC championship, won the national championship, and all that. So, like, that's what made it so stupid.
Yeah.
Well, Alec, this always a blast. We got to get you on here more frequently. You've been busy, so it's all good. But good to chit chat with you. Glad we were able to get you on. You're headed over to Buddy Show now, right?
I am. Right now, I'm going to go hang out with Buddy for a little bit and Patrick Young.
Tell Buddy I said hey.
Tell him much love from High Top Sports, Allie. Tell them where they can find you, and we'll see you later.
All right, you can find me on Twitter, Allie_Peak, or on YouTube, A Peek Inside Gators Football.
Thank you, Allie. Have a good one.
All right, thanks. See ya.
All righty, boys and girls. Let's bring on the man here now. All right, boys. He's
already here.
He's already here. He's been
Oh, there he is, the professor. Yeah. Hold on. He's got to get his signature. I'm not drinking beer though. I'm drinking like a stevia.
He's got like a tower over there. I was waiting to come.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about my tower.
Mine's all organic. Non-GMO.
I left Cody in here a little bit ago when I went to go to shower before the show, and I came back and he was just butt ass naked sitting in the chair, trying to get what it feels like to sit it. Cody is in the studio with us here today, boys and girls. So.
What's up, guys?
Yes, he is.
Long day.
It was a long
He's
day.
looking
Flew in.
Start at 2:30 a.m. this morning.
And look at him.
Hey.
Yeah, I know. Cody, you looking handsome, man. Just to let you know.
Yeah, I wore all black too because I just wanted to come on and finally bury the hatchet with old Army sniper. Daddy made it, so fuck off.
Oh my God. He's been hanging out. I don't even think he's in here, but Cody's gonna let him know. I love it. I was wondering why you're wearing all black to Florida, but
Yeah.
you saved it. I didn't even tell me why.
It's
We're all
his funeral today. Daddy made it. Fuck off.
The bushes are flowing, and I love it. All right, boys. Well, we're gonna dive into some mock draft now because we have our massive show tomorrow at Best Bet, like we've been talking about for quite some time now. We've got massive giveaways that we're going. We're giving away jerseys, okay? Signed jerseys. Toss that over to Cody. We're giving away a signed Danny Warfel football, all right? Pass that over to Cody. We're giving away signed Jag helmets. It was always the Jags, okay?
Oh, snap!
Signed photos. Another Jags here with Josh Allen. We got a couple more jerseys. There's a photo with Stephen Harris in it.
That one's special.
Yeah, there's a photo, Stephen, with you in it. You didn't sign the photo, Stephen Harris, but you're in the photo. Can you get it? It's in the big box right there.
Did he sign it with I just report the news? That's all that matters.
No. I honestly don't know. It was number 91, Stephen Harris. Who was number 91? Hand me the two. Oh, was that Jared Moss?
Moss the boss.
There's two Gator ones. It's got a Gator sticker on it. One's right. I can see it from here. They're both together. Oh, Stephen Harris said he'll sign it. That'll be a double whammy.
Tell Steven I'll see him in Spring Hill.
I'll sign it too, but I don't know how much it's going to be worth. Probably not worth shit. But
No, we don't want you to sign it.
okay, all right.
This is the photo. Right here, we're giving away tomorrow. Look at there he is. The man, the myth, the legend right there.
I like that.
So if Stephen Harris, if you're going to sign it, what we'll have to do is like a 3-way like delivery system for whoever gets it.
Well, I can run down to him and then ship it back to you. Because we're going to Spring Hill.
You're going to go meet him?
Yeah, Sunday.
Okay. All right. We'll do that then. So Cody will bring it over to you when whoever wins it. We'll figure all that out tomorrow. But we will see. We will see. Swolder, we're going to let you go so we can hop into this mock draft and let Cody cook. You got anything before you go, big fella? Any unconquered? Any news you need to report?
I do have some news to report. I have a text from a great source tonight.
Oh.
He'll be calling me later, by the way. Says it's good news, so stay tuned.
Well, let's elaborate. Can you give us a little more juice in that? So, Cody, so listen here, boys. I don't even know what's going on. Dave hops on. He's like, hey, Inside Track texted me. He says, hey, I'm calling you. I got some shit. Can't tell nobody. Dave always at least gives me like a little bit of a hint. We don't even know. Right, Dave?
I don't know. That's the only text he sent me was like, I got to call you. Good news. That's it. So I have to find out. I'll tell you later. I'll give you a little sneak peek, lift up the skirt a little bit.
You got to join the Discord.
This may not go in the Discord. I don't know. Is it going to go in the Discord?
That's why you
I don't know. I'll leave that up to Delta Gator to do that.
Which he is in the Discord. So if it does break, Delta will break it. Delta will just chime in and say, hey, I got some news. You got to be ready for it, though. You never know what's going to happen.
Better than a message board, baby.
And it's cheaper than a cup of coffee.
Hey, look. So Stephen Harris says, I would have scored if he tossed me the ball. I don't know if you saw the photo, but Stephen is begging for the fucking ball in this photo. Look. Oops. Look, I loved it. Look, Steve's like, give me the ball.
You think he has the hands for it, though?
Look at him.
The old lateral?
You can't tell me he doesn't. Look at him. He's like, give me the ball.
Yeah. Sure.
Give me the ball. I'm scoring.
Edelman action?
Hey, I bet. Hey, Harris, were you losing on the sideline? You should have gave me the ball.
Nah, Harris ain't like that.
He was screaming 12-0, 12-0.
Game day. He was definitely getting after it. I bet. If I'm a bet man, he was getting after it. All right, Swolder. So there it is. We got an inside track, boys and girls. So stay tuned if we hear anything, and obviously if you're a member, you'll get that first order of business in the Discord.
Yeah, join the Discord. I'll be out of here in a second, but I just want to say thank you, Shelton. You got Shelton and the professor there on the ones and twos, and I'm out because I just report the news.
Love you, Swatter. Be good, man.
There's Swatter.
All right, boys. So here we go. Professor and I locked and loaded here. Professor went 18 of 32 last year with his picks, compared to Mel Kiper, who had 3. Am I right on that?
Yeah, 3 of 32.
Cody likes to remind. Cody got it tatted on his arm. 3 of 32. To remind, Steven said he was livid. So Cody's dialed in. Cody came in the show. This is when Cody kind of made his start last year on the show. Called him we talked about this 48 hours before he's been dialed in.
Yeah.
He has been grinding his ass off.
132 hours.
You clocked in?
Well, yeah, I had it for the 401k.
Yeah, you got to dock his hours. Oh, unbelievable.
What do you think
the guy's been in the basement fucking working. So we're gonna put it up to him. We're gonna put his trust on paper today. We're gonna do a mock draft and we'll let the guy ride. I'll give you my thoughts and opinions about it, but this is Cody's world. We're just living in it. Again, tomorrow, 8 p.m. to the whole damn thing, about a 4-hour show. We've got a guy coming on from between the hash marks, I think is what their show is from. So he's gonna hop on the show with us. I think Zach Goodall may come on the show because he's now working for the Jags. So I pulled a string or two, and he said, "Yeah, if I'm not on the field or in the press, like in the conference room, he's like, I'll call in."
Can we sneak him into the war room like I was last year?
That's what I asked. He's like, if I'm in that room, I can't answer the phone. So respectable. So
it's like my mom.
I told him, I was like, look, I just want to either before or a little bit after, kind of get his thoughts and opinions about like, hey, how was the 5 in wherever you are? He will be in Jacksonville, so good for him. So we'll have him on. Great guest again. Ton of giveaways. If you're in the area, come see us. Come say hey. It's gonna be absolutely electric. You can gamble. There's food. The place is beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's a great time. We're gonna have a blast. Again, we'll be there. I don't think you need anything else.
Yeah. So we drove by it today, coming to your house, and I was
it's gorgeous. Is it not?
I was like, that's not a full-fledged casino. Like, what do we do? They don't have a hotel yet?
Like, no.
It's giant.
It's big though.
Yeah. It's nice.
They need a hotel on that for sure. I got Cody in his booster seat over here. So wait a minute, draft party tomorrow night. Best bet, yes, Aaron Joyner. Aaron Joyner lives locally, so yeah, I better see you there, Aaron.
Thanks, B, for the booster seat, by the way. Robbed it right out of the F-150.
He's using Beckett's seat. His feet are swinging back and forth. I love it. That's how I know when he's excited. All right, let's get into it, Coasters. So he's also he's going to do trades. He's got some trades mocked up here.
So I'm not going to give you everything. You're going to have to tune in tomorrow, but I'm going to give you the Minnesota Viking trade. I'm not doing all the trades tonight.
Well, I need the mock draft. I need to know what you...
I know, but...
You got to be right.
I'm going to be right tomorrow night.
No.
Teaser.
I need it now so we can match up tomorrow night.
Okay, well,
try
it. We'll try it.
Right. Well, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, you got to put we're at the moment.
I'm not going to give you all the steak and potatoes. You can't get all of it. I mean, why tune in for tomorrow if I give you every single...
All right. Well, I mean, it's a mock draft. I mean, you still tune in for Mel Kiper because you can make a last minute change.
Mel Kiper fucking sucks.
I know, but you're so...
Like, this is a fucking professor.
You're big board.
I don't know what you thought you brought on, but let's get going. Bears.
Obviously, Caleb Williams is a hot topic.
Yeah, he's got more red flags than my ex-wife. But they're gonna take him anyway.
I know. I like Jaden Daniels here, but
I agree.
So we're going with Caleb.
Yeah,
it's a done deal.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so we got Caleb Williams going number 1. That's obviously a lock for the mock draft. Washington Commanders on the clock. Where are they headed?
I think they're going. I think they're going to go Daniels, upsettingly, because I think that's the best quarterback out of the bunch, and then I think it really drops off after that. I think Daniels is really a top tier guy. Footwork. He doesn't rush the field like Vic did. He's more of a slasher, but I really like him.
Okay.
Good arm strength.
A lot of comparisons to Lamar Jackson. Do you agree or disagree or close to it?
No. I think he rushes like more of a Allen than Lamar. Lot
more
less
speed though. More speed.
Lot less looping. Lamar is a little more twitchy and more looping around.
Got it.
But what he likes to do is get the 4 wide set, get the wide receivers down the field, and then he's gonna just slash you for 15 or 20.
Okay.
Jaden Daniels, he's gonna convert very well.
You're giving us a lot of steak and potatoes here.
I know.
Let's go to number 3.
So here's the deal. The Patriots, they're really tough to figure out.
Sure.
I think they go quarterback.
No, Belichick this year. A lot of moving pieces.
Well, yeah. So I think they're gonna go Drake May.
You have to, I think, right? I mean,
Because
trade
you're
Mac
up in
Jones.
the Northwest. I think you go for or Northeast. You go for that bigger, stronger Josh Allen prototype
Sure.
quarterback.
Some saying he's the best quarterback in the draft.
No, not even close.
Some. I said some. Don't they yell at me?
He's like 5.
Just passing along words. There's some people that like him.
He's okay. I think he is Josh Allen. I think in the right scheme. But when's the last time the commies have developed a quarterback?
All right, next up we got Cardinals on the clock. Wide receiver high on them. What are we looking at here?
So I think Marvin Harrison Jr.
You're not going to call your trade?
No, I think Vikings are trading at 5. I think Cardinals are too much at 4. So 2 years ago,
you don't want to. If you're Cardinals, you don't want to take. You have to get Marvin here, right? And I hate this.
Oh, for sure.
I hate if he goes. I'm going to say this tomorrow too. He goes to the Cardinals. I hate this. You're putting an incredible talent, into the dungeon.
Hold on. This is my one thing. Jim Irsay.
The coach?
No, the Colts.
Oh,
the Colts owner.
Yeah.
He can walk into the room and say, "No, we're going to go get Harrison Jr. Make it happen. Go trade the farm."
You're giving us a little steak and potatoes here.
I don't know if it's going to happen, but I'm telling you from what I've heard from inside.
I would love that.
Colts reporting. He says, "Listen, even if we trade 3 first-rounders, we're going to make more off jersey sales and ticket sales
because of the family.
Because of the family bond." Yep.
And with AR, I mean, you got 2 back-to-back splashes. Yes. I love it. But you're gonna stay with Marvin. You're not. Are you gonna do this trade now?
No. So I'm not doing it now. I predict that for tomorrow.
Okay.
So the Cardinals are wheeler dealers. If you watch their GM 2 years ago, guy's on the phone all the time. He wants to make trades.
I don't. For me personally, I don't think Marvin Harrison moves the needle. Like we were just talking about. I don't think he moves the needle. I think he's a big
for
time.
the right team. He moves the needle.
Yeah, I'm saying for the Cardinals.
No,
I don't think. I think he. If I'm Marvin, I don't want to go to the Cardinals.
But could you
Kyler Murray
imagine
sucks.
Lucas Oil?
Oh,
Marvin
incredible!
Harrison Jr.?
I would love it. As a fan of football, you have to love it. But right now we're gonna go. I love this. This is fantastic. Cody's dialed in. I fucking love this guy.
So first trade, I got.
This is a trade.
Yeah.
Okay. Chargers.
Vikings.
I have the button on the roadcaster for tomorrow. So we're
Vikings gonna trade up. Now, here's the thing.
We're doing 11-5 swap, guys. Obviously, just real quick. We know that other things can happen, but for the sake of this, we're just doing a clean swap.
Okay. They'd probably get a second rounder, but that's no big deal. So the Vikings trade for JJ McCartney. Now I think JJ is going to drop
over Penix.
Here's the thing: Penix is not graded out that well, so why trade up? Because the Chargers like JJ too, but they signed that big fat contract with their quarterback.
Yeah, they have Herbert.
But
yeah,
Harbaugh
that is interesting with
loves JJ. But here's the thing.
Oh my God, tomorrow's gonna be crazy.
There was an article that came out yesterday that said Harbaugh is not going to give it to the Vikings because the Vikings fucked him over when he was a player.
So you're flocking me here then.
It may happen, it may not.
This is a fall trade. You're
no,
fucking
it's
with me.
Not.
You're not even giving me the sides anymore, Cody.
I'm giving you a little dessert.
You're giving me the side bitch at this point. This is scrap on the floor here.
No,
yeah, this isn't even making a final cut. This mock draft.
A lot of mock drafts.
You're mocking me with this mock draft.
JJ going.
You're unbelievable.
Hey,
from what you just told me, there's not a chance. I think the Arizona trading is more likely to happen than the Chargers.
4 is too high for them.
For the Vikings?
Yes.
What the fuck? It's one spot.
It's
but too much value that they give up for it.
Yes, because everybody looks at the point system, so they'd have to give up another spot. And
all right,
the
so
Vikings
JJ, we're getting too much meat and potatoes here.
Okay,
you're giving me the shaft at this point.
So Giants, I think they go out and they get Neighbors. They get rid of Tony. They get rid of Tony last year to Kansas City.
Love that.
I think they go out and they get their quarterback.
Odell, kind of Odell-ish, right? Odell Beckham.
Yeah,
like repeating that LSU history. Love it.
Yep.
I'm in for it.
And then number 7. I mean, I think this is
you got to give your piss cup guys his guy, right?
Number 7, the Titans. I think Joe Alt. I think he is as Titan as it gets. He is the offensive tackle. He is a absolute mauler in the run game.
No Rome Dunez?
No.
Okay, I'm listening. I'm here.
Nope.
Okay, yes,
and
sir.
then Falcons are going to go defense, edge, Dallas Turner out of Alabama. Not my favorite edge. We'll get in that tomorrow.
This is so fun.
Bears.
Dallas Turner. Cody's on a fucking bro. Jeez, I'm geeking out, bro. I fucking love it. All right, go ahead, buddy.
I think Bears. I think they go get a weapon for Caleb Williams.
Got to Roman Dunez, right? All right, I'll shut up. Go ahead.
Rome looks good. Who else is there?
Wide receiver or
Wide receivers.
Adonai Mitchell, Brian Thomas, right?
I think they could swap though. I think either Brian. It depends on scheme fit. I think Rome or Thomas.
Rome's getting a lot of love. You got to go Rome if you take Caleb Williams and Rome is still there this late in the draft, which a lot of people don't have him. I think you got to take Rome.
I think Thomas is higher in my
It's
draft.
your mock
but
draft.
Yeah, I go ahead and put Thomas there.
Okay,
just to spice it up a little bit.
I love it.
Jets.
Jets. Jets. Where are we going?
What have the Jets not gotten? What was Aaron Rodgers?
He needs a wide receiver. That's why you say Rome. You want Rome to go. You want Rodgers to
No,
Rome.
I'm gonna spice it up even better. So when Rodgers was at the Packers, what he loves is a tight end.
I was gonna say tight.
Brock Bowers.
Top 10 draft pick. Okay, Cody's reaching deep into his bag, bro.
And then what I think is gonna happen? Who we have next? The Commanders.
No, the Chargers.
Oh, the
because
Chargers?
you did a trade. Yeah.
Yeah. Chargers at 11.
Yourself.
So they need a couple spots. I think they need to shore up the offensive line. I think they take an offensive lineman, either Jason Latham or
Inside offensive lineman?
no, offensive tackle.
Okay.
Bama or the Penn State kid.
Well, you got to give me one.
Give me the Penn State kid for them.
Okay.
I think it fits better.
I like that. Yeah, give Herbert some love here. I mean, look, they need a lot of love, man. Obviously, losing Keenan Allen, running back, you could use some juice. We've got the Broncos here. Broncos, I know they're heavy on quarterbacks. They just got Zach Wilson. J.J. McCarthy was looking to be there too, but you already gave him up. So where are we going?
I think truthfully, I think the Broncos are going to go. I think they're going to go with an offensive weapon. What we got wide receiver wise?
Rome, who you've continued to just
Rome.
Oh, you're just slinging them out there like you
Yeah,
said.
sure.
I think you've been doing well. I think you're a little low on Rome. I could be wrong. It's your big board. I'm just one of the pegs. You know what I'm saying?
No, I think
you watch the film, not me.
I listen.
Don't yell at me.
This isn't all of what I'm going to give you, but I like Rome. But scheme fit matters. Not all these guys can.
I love how you're just giving me the tip tonight, and you're gonna give me full shaft tomorrow. Like
yeah,
it's like this is like the mock to the mock.
For sure.
Okay.
So
how many Bush lattes are you in?
It don't matter.
That's just a
Who's
number.
counting?
It's just we're just a number.
So I like Rome there.
Okay, we got Raiders.
So Raiders are interesting. I think they take the first cornerback, not my first cornerback, but a cornerback that fits their scheme.
Okay.
Arnold, Alabama.
Okay. Alabama.
He's a hard-nosed hitter. He is going to look good in that Raider uniform. He'll come down smacking the run game. I like that for him.
Real quick question from the stands here. Muddy goes, we got Big Board King over here. Someone tell me why freaking Toledo's cornerback is projected at a top cornerback. Guy had one pick last year, runs a 4.3 40, and scouts just label him as the best. He played no one. Where do you got Quinyon Mitchell on your big board?
Number 1.
Oh shit, this is getting
He's Witherspoon 2.0. Now the past 3 years. Think about this.
He's watched the film though. So
Sauce Gardner, Witherspoon, Mitchell, all from Ohio, Illinois, Ohio. Just saying.
It's in the water.
It's something in the water.
All right.
Now he's not the best. He's not the best press man corner out there. The best press man corner is TJ Tampa.
All around though.
He's
the Ohio
best
blood in
corner.
him.
Yeah.
It says you think it's the cold.
It's the cold. It's the water.
Yeah.
The Browns dog in them.
Sure.
I'm just gonna say it.
Bush is flowing, boys. Cody's feeling himself. Buddy was breathing into a bag about 30 minutes ago, but he's dialed in right now. And I fucking love it.
We're right here. Next we got the Saints.
Yes, sir. I'm listening.
I think they're gonna go. They need a lot of help. I think they're gonna go offensive line.
Bro, the Heat won tonight. Sorry. Muddy, give me the juice. We're back. We may not lose the game.
I'm gonna go Jason Latham from Alabama. I like that pick for them. Offensive tackle. They need an offensive tackle. Now they do like the Oregon State kid, but if Latham drops from Alabama, you're not going to take an Oregon State kid.
They have Derek Carr there, right? So they can go late with quarterbacks here. I got you. I'm feeling you.
Yep.
All right, Colts. Now you've already kind of gave us a little juice here, but what you think is going to happen? But wide receiver, where do they go?
I don't think that at this spot, I don't think that they go wide receiver. I think they go cornerback Quinton Mitchell.
Love it.
If he drops. Now
Cody's dialed in, dude.
here's my big spot: the Jaguars.
Hey, whoa, we got Seahawks first.
Okay, so yeah,
Hey, slow down the bushes. All right, you're starting to redouble here. Let's calm down.
So offensive line is a premium there for them.
Who? Oh, we're Seahawks, right?
Seahawks.
All right, I'm listening.
They can either take the tackle from Oregon State, which I think they will.
Talise Fuguayi.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what we're going with.
That's who we're going with.
Average 13, ADP's 14. That's right in the sweet spot there. Cody might be dialed in here, boys. All right, Jaguars, take it easy here. I got my gear behind me. What am my boys need a cornerback
Everybody's been saying
or a
Cooper
tackle.
DeJean.
I love it.
I hate it.
Why?
He's a safety or a big nickel.
What do you have on your big board?
9th.
Fuck.
I think they go TJ Tampa.
Oh, you're for what, cornerback?
Yep.
So okay, so
Out
not
of-
Cooper.
Nope. I don't think they go Cooper. I think that
TJ
Cooper,
Tampa, the rank 51. That's who you're going.
yeah. He's a real deal. He's JPJ 2.0.
I feel like
I've
we're like
watched the film.
I feel like I'm like we're doing a March Madness bracket and you're telling me to pick a 16 seed over 1 seed. You know what I mean?
Cooper DeJean, number one, he just got injured. He broke his fibia. We don't know how great he is. He can't run the 40. He didn't compete in the combine.
Why am I arguing with the guy that has 132 hours under his belt? I don't know.
I don't know. Listen.
I'm just going from numbers.
Now,
I'm just the guy with the
Cooper
mic.
DeJean is a football player. I like him more in the Lions aspect where he can play big nickel. I think he fits right into that
So
landscape.
what? So you don't like offensive tackle
I mean, they
or
can
a guard? I mean, they need a guard. We need some
who's the
love.
top guard right now?
Got Jackson Powers, Johnson, Oregon. I mean, the value is
that's a solid pick there too.
center. I think Jacks have a good center though.
Yeah, go OG offensive guard there.
It's too late. We're already past it. I can't go back. Once the pick's in, the pick's in.
Well, who'd you pick?
Your Tampa guy.
Okay, that's solid.
Alright.
That's a good pick. The chat's probably beating me up for it, but that guy, he's a true
Yeah, Aaron Jordan he's not happy.
Well, he's a true number one belt buckle to belt buckle corner, which I think the Jaguars need. They missed out on JPJ last year.
I agree. Look, I'm
fucking around.
Yeah. Look, I feel like the Jags draft last year is not looking great. So
because of the suspension. Remember the suspension?
Yeah.
So they had to go offensive line.
Yeah.
JPJ was sitting there, and they lost him.
Hey, I'm on your team. We're on the same team here. Same blue chairs.
We're
on the Bengals. Joey B. Give him. Hey, he needs love.
No, I think they're going defensive line.
Oh, okay. I mean, you're
Brian
right.
Murphy the second. Out of
Steal.
Texas.
Look at that. ADP 17. Cody's got it. This is their guy. He's on the board.
That guy's a game wrecker. He might be one of the best. He is Carter without the issues.
Okay. Well, love that. Love that comparison. Rams on the clock. Quick question. Hot topic for you. Who won the draft? Who won the trade? Lions or Rams? What do we got right now? At this very moment, who's won it? Do you know what the Lions got? They got like 6 players.
I'm going to say Lions because they were so bad in the cellar, and it really helped their team out, and now they're
competitors.
They're competitors.
It's hard because the Rams did get a Super Bowl. They got what they want. But if we're talking about long-term longevity, you got to think the Lions. Now, if the Lions never get one, I don't know. You can't really overlook or overring.
That team has been bad for so long.
What they did last year was incredible.
For
like
sure.
that was almost like that was like a ring itself. Like it was. Would you say it was like an FSU unconquered ring for them?
No, I'm gonna say this. It's like if New Orleans, the year Katrina when they won the Super Bowl, if they didn't win the Super Bowl, it's still that it rejuvenated the city.
I feel you. Okay.
So here we
Brandon
are.
goes, "How much Adderall are you taking to prepare for this?" I'm just slurping down iced coffee. That's what I'm doing here.
We're on the Rams.
Hey, also too, your glasses are a topic of conversation. You think we can get upgrades on those with the 401k?
Yeah.
I mean, I just get a little sexier. I think a nice little clean look. I mean, dude, you could go from like a 7 to a 9. I think with some sexy glasses.
I mean,
hey, no homo. Just
no, I wear these to keep the women away.
okay. Look at that, Tiff. Look. I mean, that's a hell of a response, guys.
I mean,
hey,
what do you want from me?
Hey. Touche. You can't argue with that.
So Rams, I think they go and they replace their edge rusher that they had, and I think they go get
Burse?
no
Latua?
Latu.
Dude, that kid's nasty, bro. That UCLA defensive line was incredible.
I have them 1 and 2 with Verse. I think that Latu fits their scheme better.
Well, also Jared Verse is a quitter. You know what I mean? So you want a guy that's going to be dialed in.
Nah, Jared Verse is a dog.
I was a joke on him quitting the game.
Yeah,
Thanks for backing
I
back
get
there.
it. So when it comes to NFL, I don't I got a lot of FSU guys ranked pretty high. And then let's go ahead and get to the Steelers.
Hit me.
I think they go offensive tackle. Georgia,
Mims. The guy that put FSU on a suspension. Favorite player in the draft. Fins up. Need some love here. Got a lot of talent on that football team. Can't seem to get it done. Where are we going, big guy?
So, I think you go and you help out. I think that you go and you help out the offensive line.
Sure.
What do you have at center that can play? Go
Your
Powers.
Jacksons. Yeah.
Go Powers because he can play. He's big enough. He can play center or guard.
They got him labeled as a center, but I hear you.
Yeah, he play both ways.
Eagles. They got needs for wide receiver. They have one of the best wide receiver cores in the group. They lose Brown and Smith.
Yeah, let me go ahead and let me get Mitchell there from Texas.
Wide receiver. Your camera died, so they can't see you. So give me a second. Keep talking to him though. We're gonna take back, boys.
So who we got next? Let's see. So we went Mitchell. So the nice thing about Mitchell, he's a little wishy-washy in his pass catching, but it's the deep ball is very, very good with him. He tracks it well. He has a nasty sluggo route, and it's probably one of the best. And he has burner speed. I think he was one of the faster wide receivers out of the bunch. So that's why I really like him there. The Eagles they just had the big extension with Smith. So it'd be nice to pair him up with him across the other side.
All right, Vikings back on the clock. 2 picks in the first round, huh?
Yeah.
Big time year for the Vikes. Tell me.
So let's go. Who do we have on the edge?
Available?
Yes.
You got Verse.
Who do we have in defensive tackle?
You don't want him?
Let me see who's with defensive tackle.
We got Zerine Newton Verse. I still have edges in there.
Give me Newton out of Illinois, right?
Yeah, ADP is 24. Jared Verse is ADP of 20, so you're kind of losing a little bit of value there. But all right, you don't. Why not?
Because we have some good edge players. They're developing.
Okay.
We got burned up the middle with the run, and this guy is a run stopper. He's more that prototypical defensive tackle that you need.
I gotta cut you off. I can already hear you're already ramping up with the Vikings. We'll be here all day.
Okay. Next pick.
You were settling in there in the seat. The seat was getting warm.
Yeah, I was locking in. Next.
Tiff says we need to call in. I don't have the button to call in, Tiff.
We don't need no call in. Jesus.
All right,
done with this.
Give me the boys.
They're not back this year. Let me go offensive tackle Tyler Gooten from Oklahoma. Oklahoma is a very well productive. Their O-line university number 2 behind Wisconsin. They need to protect an aging Dak Prescott, and I think they're going offensive tackle.
Love it. Cody is just busting the numbers up. I love it. Packers on the clock. Where do they go? Got to get Jordan Love some love here, right?
Nope.
Oh,
They're going defense again for year after year after year. Give me Verse.
Oh, really? Edge.
Yep.
They don't even have that as one of their needs, but
I don't care.
Okay.
That's where they're gonna go.
If he's that far, you got to go right. One of the best edges in the draft, right?
Yep. Because they have a bunch of guys that are up for contract that they're not going to sign. They like to play cheap, and Gary is one of them. The Michigan guy 5 years ago, he was a stud. They're going to get rid of him just like they did the Smith brother. They got rid of him. That's what they do.
All right. Give me the Bucs. Signing Baker Mayfield to a lifetime contract. Where are we going?
So, man, the Bucs are tough. I think they're going to go defense. I think they're going to go edge. Chop Robinson. Chop Robinson is
what a name.
it's a Von Miller 2.0.
Okay.
With that step, length, and speed. He's really something.
I'm listening. We got the Cardinals back on the clock. I feel like the Cardinals and Vikings have the ability to do something special here with a very healthy draft, in my opinion, right? I feel like last year was it had flash, but not stability, I would say. This draft, in my opinion, so far, all these guys I feel like are going to be, I mean, look, we never know what's going to play out, but this feels like it could be a very impactful draft where we're seeing these guys' names for a very long time.
Yeah. Let's go offense again, but let's go offensive line. Pull me up centers and guards and see what we got.
We've got Troy, the tackle. We got Graham Barton, the tackle. We got Zach Frazier, the center. Jordan Morgan, the tackle.
Let's go Frazier. Let's go inside to help beef up that line for their quarterback.
Full fucking names that was that. The Bills losing everybody in free agency.
Yeah, they need a wide receiver bad, huh?
They need the juice.
What do we got wide receiver wise left?
We got Troy Franklin. We got Lab McConkey. Got Keon Coleman. We got Ricky P out there. You know what I mean?
I don't think Ricky P.
I'm just asking.
There. Let's go.
It's gotta be Troy here, right?
What we got tight end wise?
Ooh, they have plenty of tight ends. They've got Knox and they took what's his fake Kincaid.
Yeah, that's true. Let's go. Lad.
Lad?
Yeah.
They got Lad going to the Chiefs. You got him going that high?
Yeah.
All right. $2.
They're
We just got a
desperate
wide
for
receiver
that.
commit from Oregon. Lou's asshole. Damn it. All right. Best team in the country. Lions are on the clock. Where are we going?
They're gonna go cornerback and they're gonna get a good one. Kool-Aid McKinstry from Bama.
Great
one of
name.
the last Alabama Saban back DBs that you can get.
Like it could be a steal of the draft right there.
It's a good one, and Alabama doesn't have a lot of guys that are going high in this draft. They got some fillers. They got some second round guys that are going to be good, but that was their cornerback one at 29. I think it's a great steal.
We got the Ravens on the clock here. Where we headed?
Go O-line. Let's go Arizona Jordan Morgan.
Tackle or guard? Where am I going?
I think he's guard.
He's a tackle.
Okay, tackle. They just have him listed as
Niners. Great team. Doesn't need much.
What do they need?
It says guard, tackle, and cornerback.
Let's go cornerback.
Cooper.
No. Who else I got?
We got Nate Wiggins.
Wiggins at Clemson. Yeah, that's a guy.
You got Cooper just falling off the board here, bud.
Yeah, he's a big nickel. That's it. And the
Okay,
next,
all right. I'm not arguing. Just.
I don't think he's that great. I'm not a big Iowa fan either.
All right, Chiefs, the worst team in the country, who are just
One bad take, one time. I think they go defense.
no wide receiver, huh?
No.
Okay, a lot of people got him there, but defensive line.
Yeah.
Okay,
What we got?
we got Brandon Fisk, we got Chris Jenkins.
Brandon Fisk. That's their guy. I like it.
Yeah, they're analyzing our draft. Let's see what you got here, Codes. Did you give me a grade?
It's perfect.
This is it. All right, we're gonna post it. Oops, that play just isn't in our playbook. Select the 3 teams to get customized inside. There it is. There is the high top mock draft. 18 for 32 last year. Mel Kiper was 3 for 32. So you got a guy making millions who can't hit it, right? But Cody's humming. Can history repeat itself, Cody?
Well, I still have another, 24 hours before we go live, so I can do another mock draft edit.
That's
all the
true.
best of them.
That's true.
What,
That's
you think
true.
I'm gonna go home and go to sleep? Yeah, I'm gonna be fucking grinding the film all night.
He's gonna be questioning his own mock draft here tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to. I'm gonna get the printout. I'm gonna fucking do my research. I'm gonna call the insiders. What do you want me to do?
I love it. They said Niners, we need a lineman, and you gave him a cornerback. Adrian's not gonna be happy with your pick there.
Okay, well, one bad one. I don't count it by my wins. I count it by my losses because I have so few.
I love it. Boys and girls, what a show. What a jam-packed. Look, we're right in the middle of this like weird part of the season where football spring is over for the Gators, but we're in the middle of the draft and it's been fun. So can can Ricky Pearsall make a splash? Look, I think what you have to realize too, and I think what should be allowed obviously tomorrow, just like you have a mock draft, you practice for fantasy football, but you've got to also play the people you're playing against. So if tackles and things start rolling off the board, people may have to adjust.
Or run on cornerbacks or run. The hardest thing is I'm going to say this. Tomorrow when you watch the show, I'm going to say when I in the negative on my cons and say scheme fit. There's only 7 players in my big board. It doesn't matter where they go.
I understand.
They're gonna fit.
They're just they're that good.
Yes.
So I think what also too, like you have your mock draft, you'll have like your and then tomorrow we're gonna have your pre-pick. That's gonna be the most accurate one because I think you should be graded on live game day because of what happens. I think you'll probably have to do one more mock draft. I think right before the show, maybe if we have time.
Yeah.
Just to kind of get like a raw pick, but I'm cool with being able to pick as it goes because
somebody trades up, I'm locked in. I got it. I'm here.
Yeah, I think we will have that going on. So after this mock Kuiper's keeping his job.
Hey.
They're hating on you. Look, it's whatever. It's gonna happen. Dom says that if we do end up getting a new head coach, Hayward Jablomi, we'll see. I love it. Well, good stuff, boys. Cody's gonna handle all of the words, but look, he was all over it last year. He did say he was holding back some. I think towards the end there, he was throwing a little bit of coasters at us, so we'll see how it plays out tomorrow. But
a little fluff action.
A little fluff. Yeah. You like to spice them up a little bit. Put the salt on the wound and let's see how it sits.
Well, they don't have anything to talk about if I go, 32 for 32.
True. They have nothing. You're 100% right.
Chat just goes,
pull the mic up a little bit, yeah.
Chat just goes blank.
Yeah. True enough. Well, boys and girls, great show. Happy to have all of you here. It's like we have a 300 plus for a little bit earlier. Slowed down a little bit for the NFL draft. Again, tomorrow, 8 o'clock, live from Best Bet at St. Augustine. Come see us. I mean, dude, like it's going to be an absolute blast. A draft day, it's a fun time. It's a good time. It's more fun when you're hanging out with the boys, drinking, gambling, doing all that good stuff. If you can't be there, obviously tune in, watch us, yell at us in the comment section below. It's going to be fired up. Last year was a fantastic time. Our first year at Best Bet, we completely did it on a whim. This one is more organized, more dialed in. We are more prepared than ever before. So we'll be good. Cody?
We'll see you later.
All right. Guys, be good. Be sure to like, subscribe. Peace and love, baby.
See you.